forests play a significant role in the affairs of mankind. The forests are the sources of food, clothing and shelter, fuel and furniture, as well as natural medicines. Also, the forests are valuable sources of drinking water and bushmeat. According to available statistics, logging has taken place in more than 90% of Ghana's forests since 1940. Ghana's forest zone, which at the beginning of this century covered 8.2 million hectares, has been reduced to about 1.7 million hectares. Between 1981 and 1985, the annual rate of deforestation in Ghana was established at 1.3%. In recent times, however, the estimates are set at almost 2%. Deforestation is affecting Ghana in many ways. Ghana is said to be losing a lot of the impressive fauna, ranging from the rare and endangered species to several of West Africa's rare forest birds. These birds are important for the regeneration of the forest through the dispersal of seed. Pressure has increased on the remaining forests because of the incidence of illegal logging. Conservationists are concerned that at the current rate of wood consumption in Ghana, most of the remaining forests will soon disappear. Among the forests which are threatened is the Atewa Range in the eastern region of Ghana.
Atewa Forest Reserve is one of the largest blocks of forest reserve that we have within the Upper Guineas Forest area, and is considered as one of the 2 upland evergreen forests that we have in Ghana, beside the Tano of Fame Forest Reserve.
Atewa Range Forest Reserve has an area of 23,662 hectares, that is 23.662 square kilometers. It covers 6 political districts: East Akim, Atewa, Suhum, Ayensu.
Atewa is a major repository of biodiversity. It's so rich when it comes to its biodiversity. It's also very rich in terms of its water bodies, because it serves as the headwaters for 3 important water bodies within this area. That is the Ayensu, Brim, and then the Densu rivers.
Yawa afanfranta ebini wiase baabiara ewo ho. Yawo aketre ewo ho a ebini baabiara. Impotro kura no ewo ho. Enua bi wo ho a na ye friend isan different from isan ne isisi wura mu no different. Eho adum kura no different. Kaolin ni awode ye kalo no ebi wo. Ana bauxite ship. Sikan kasanso ejim. And this have the pono enya be pa eye popo hunu eye bo pa ikutaniama. Ensu ahodo be 980 and ejim. Densu ho ayensu ensu awomu afiri mu no eye bebre.
There is a close relationship between the forest and the communities that live on the fringes of the forest.
Our life, I can say that, depend to some extent on the forest, because people do hunting, people do collect firewood, and besides that, there are a whole lot of things. People go there to fetch those that we have arom, the one that they use to prepare wache and all kind of things. There are a whole lot of economic activities that people depend on in the forest.
It is estimated that over 3 million Ghanaians in the rural areas depend on the forest for their daily survival.
Atewa Forest, Akwadum site, is the source of a place where the Aquadum farmers get their income. For instance, they farm cocoa, maize, pineapple, cocoyam, and other crops that if you go around the Atewa Range, if you come to Aquadum, you will see that we have farmers who are doing well. The main source of income comes from the farming. So Atewa is our heart. The range in Aquadum is our heart. That where we get our sources of income.
The dependence on the forest impacts negatively on biodiversity.
A percentage of the forest has been depleted as a result of our dependence on the forest, especially those who use part of it to farm, those who were sawing timber in the forest, people were cutting all kind of for sponge, so many other things. Some of them go there for herbal medicine and a whole lot of. There are others who go there to catch butterflies and a whole lot. Yeah.
Within the forest reserve, we have about 765 vascular plants alone. We have over 155 bird species. We also have about over 143 butterfly species, 28 mammal species, including 6 primate species. Some of these are endangered. We also have about 32 species of amphibians. Despite the paramount conservation importance of this reserve, it's also one of the reserves facing a lot of conservation challenges because we have a lot of illegal logging of lumber. We also have illegal mines called galamsey within the catchment of the forest. We also have encroachment of farms into the forest.
It is not only the farming activities that affect the forest. There has been an astronomical increase in the commercial exploitation of the mineral resources in the Atewa Range. Countless number of people enter the forest on a daily basis for either illegal lumbering or for mining. But the guardians of the forest cannot do anything about it.
If you look at the extent of the forest reserve, we have only 6 forest guards managing the reserve, an area of about 223,662 hectares. However, notwithstanding what I'm saying, we have also the people, the community workers who also assist in cleaning, maintaining the boundaries of Atewa. Atewa has been a very rich forest reserve, but it looks as if galamsey is one of our biggest problems. Because galamsey people are there, Brim, Yesu, Ayesu, and then Densu, they take their sources from the Atewa Forest Reserve. And because of that, if you look at the Brim River now, it has changed, the water in it has changed color outright.
104 or 109. Nsuo no na ebi wo ho a ya sane gina ho a o madam enwa yi kurujen yo brem sana na brem tie no won kosa brem na won man fensi won na won hunu se minute mienu efia badase ya dabi ye won so be da ha kransen sara bukuru odahiya ahonfra odaye kwatase ha gwa a senso yi nyina da no wo ko hwe senia baby e fire ene senia na tia enwa enei me fare kura se ya me ka se me yochini aminum brem because brem na ye ka se ye no no aye atache.
Now, there is no end to the blame game for the wanton destruction of the forest.
I don't think it is very possible for someone coming from outside just to enter the forest and then work in the forest without the knowledge of the community members. So whenever you go to the forest and you see that there is an outsider working in the forest, then it means he has been given the mandate or the authority to work there. And at times too, the community themselves, they condone and connive with people coming from the outside to enter into the forest. I've been informed so many times by people making tents in the forest and then working in the forest, while those people are not forest guards or not even the forest staff. So you can, ask yourself why it happens like that. So at times when you inform the forest people, they will tell you that the lack of staff. But it is, to me, it is highly, highly impossible to answer. And they give me this question that you lack of staff. Because for somebody to erect tent in the forest and work there for more than a month, to cut wood in the forest for a forest guard in somewhere telling me that the place is too far from him to see that person working there is highly impossible.
In the year 2012, Arusha, Ghana, adopted the Atewa Critical Conservation Action Project, or ACCAP, in response to the spate of destruction of the Atewa Forest Range.
Atewa is faced with a lot of threats, illegal chainsaw, illegal mining, and hunting and things like that. So the project seeks to sensitize the people around the forest and also work with them as to how the place should be managed. The ultimate aim and desire of this organization is that Atewa would be one day given the status of a national park. That gives it a higher protection in terms of its biodiversity. This project specifically is about sensitization, education, and also to support the communities with some alternative libraries.
We are trying to rally public support by involving civil society organizations and other stakeholders, so that by so doing we'll be able to come to an agreement and then help protect this very key and very important resource base.
There are about 40 settlements in the Atewa Range Forest Reserve area. 30 of these settlements are involved in the ACCAP project, and Arusha, Ghana uses methods such as community dialogues, video shows, and interfaith workshops to achieve its aims.
I cannot describe the exhilaration which has filled me since you came this evening. The talk, the video that you have shown my people. I think God is doing some wonders, that you, Arusha, is coming in to help us to maintain, to keep the Atewa Range better, and that the people will not destroy. They don't know what they are doing. If you tell them that they shouldn't cut trees because they don't have any other job or any other thing to do, they go there and do a lot of bad things, gold mining and all that. So since you have come in, I think it is my great joy that you'll be able to help us to maintain the forest and the living things in the forest. The other day, I think I was told that we have four living creatures in the forest, that there is none anywhere, and that if you can help us to maintain the forest so that people will come around tourists come around to see how you have helped us to keep our forest clean and nice, and no trouble is given to the living things in the forest, and you educate us how to maintain the forest, how to raise some animals, the teaching that you give to the people so that they will not harass the forest, will be highly appreciated.
So much has been lost to human activity, and perhaps it is time to take another look into the forest. What used to be there, what is there now, and what has been lost.
In terms of research, a whole lot more has to be done at Atewa, because since 2006, when the last rapid assessment survey was done by Conservation International, no rigorous scientific research has been done there, though a lot more people have done other smaller research work at Atewa. In 2006, during the RAP survey, they identified a lot of species that were new to science. They also discovered species that were of global conservation concern, and others that were endemic to the site. But since then, the threats that Atewa has faced in terms of illegal mining, logging, and farm encroachment may have caused a lot of destruction at the site, in the sense that the species that are recorded to have been found there may have been lost. New species may also have come to the site as a result of the changes that have taken place in the site. But because we haven't done any current rigorous studies, we will still be reporting them as being there. Furthermore, Atewa has been discovered to be a wealth of bauxite and of gold. And because people's livelihood depend on Atewa, and people are mining on the side, as well as the interest groups, being the government, the community people, and conservation groups, we need to be able to research rigorously to economically evaluate the wealth of Atewa as well as its conservation work, to be able to better protect the site and conserve it for what it stands for.
The reserve serves as a habitat for these animals. So immediately you clear the area, then it means you are driving the animals away from the reserve. And also this illegal chainsaw, as soon as the animals also hear the noise of the machine, they also decide to run away from the area. And then when these trees are being felled, you know, some of the animals also use the trees as their habitat. And as soon as they fell them, then it means their habitat has been destroyed. So it means they have to leave the reserve to another place. The butterfly sanctuary that we had in the Atewa Forest Reserve, quite recently some people went and farmed that area, and I learned the butterflies have left the place to another area where we are now trying to do a research or investigate to find out where they are now.
The laws of Ghana make the resources of the forest the property of the state. The traditional authorities are not very sure whether to support the extraction of mineral resources in the Atewa range, such as bauxite.
Some no me no go to be that. And I'm nim hohwe. Enti wanya. Wo beba wo kwan mu aba. Se wo na sisu wo hwe say. Se bauxite wo be ya. Wei ebe say no. Na wa calculate won fa mu nkonda. Na se wo ye na be say dia. Na wo ha won ho yo. Sade no. Se si ya efie ne yetimu. Na se be say bibi wa ha na me be fa. Na mi budan gu. Na me ya me ko fa dokode. Na dokode ne antumi amama nya efie ye esa ba emienu a. Ajapade am say no ase de. Endi ya de ana osajefo ana ochiman kan say ya me into bauxite go. Ni ya se ya hwe o ha wo de beba. Ni ebetumi amayen. Ni ebetumi ya replace Atewa no. What ya hwe ni hu say be yes yɛnu ho asɛm ani.
The state is interested in the mining of the bauxite. There are now conflicting interests between the state's need for finances and the need to maintain the sanity of the Atewa Forest Range.
In terms of the resources there, animals and trees, and even for the people around, is enormous. And this should not be. I mean, it serves as the headwaters for 3 rivers. And if you mine the place, the rivers are gone. And if you consider the water problems we have in Ghana at the moment, Atewa, the Densu, Ayensu, Brim, they supply water to Eastern region, Greater Accra region. So I don't think that we would want to wake up one day and the water is gone. Even the little, we have water shortage in many parts of Accra, and we do not think that we want to compound that problem by destroying the source of the waters that supply Accra.
Arusha, Ghana is collaborating with like-minded environmental NGOs to convince the state to keep Atewa as it is.
CONAMA is a coalition of NGOs against the mining of Atewa. So they seek to campaign and lobby and bring awareness to the fact that Atewa should not be mined. Actually, Atewa is rich in bauxite. So even in the broader picture, at the national level, governmental level, there are plans, or there could be plans in the future for extraction of these natural resources. But I think that there's a strong school of thought that Atewa, with its richness in flora and fauna and biodiversity, if it is looked at well and planned well, it could be a bit more, let me even use the word, profitable in the long term in terms of ecotourism potential and some other potential that the place could be put into to even bring income into the people of the place. So CONAMA thinks that just opening up the place and extracting whatever you can, and the next moment everything is gone, it's not the best place to preserve this heritage actually, because Atewa is known not only in Ghana, it's known even beyond Ghana, and its importance in terms of the resources there, animals and trees, and even for the people around, is enormous.
So, what is the way forward?
There are some interests that would want to take the bauxite out and get money and employment, and then there are the custodians, the local people also. So there are several interests. I think what we are seeking to do is to try somehow to reconcile this, and how would that be? I think that over the years, maybe those of us coming from the conservation side have not been able to put across the case well as to the long-term sustainability and also benefits, generating potentials of the place. So if we are able to come out with a strategy, a document that would kind of give a roadmap as to the long-term sustainability of the place, as well as income generating potentials of the place when it is preserved, I think that it would be we'll be able to reconcile this interest, because the bottom line is economic. What we're trying to do is to come out with a creative means of getting a document, a strategic document that can turn the place into potential that will bring benefit to the people there, at the same time preserving what the place is for posterity.
Ghana maima maya si hu fine maya mo hu fine maya si hu fine maya so fefe when you hear she right I see way maya so fefe when you hear she right Yana ye chendi di preku, konfu bonesi o